Hello everyone, welcome back to Roll. So the new patch, still not here, which is totally okay. I'm just letting you guys know what the status quo is. I'm not demanding the dev put more content out now, because he can work at whatever pace he needs to, and that is totally alright by me. But because we are still in the quote-unquote current version of the patch, we still have the ability to break the game if we can get there. So that's what I'm going to do. So just in case you were wondering with this whole many dice situation, the goal isn't to try and get to the top of the leaderboards with score. This build probably isn't ever going to quite achieve that. So instead, it's more to just see how many dice you can get for the sake of getting more dice. So it's kind of a self-imposed objective rather than a game-defined objective. Maybe someday in the future there might be a separate leaderboard for how many dice you can get. That would be really cool if it was, but right now we are just trying to do it to see if we can, because going for high scores is all well and good, but if you just try and do every single run the same, it's going to get a little bit monotonous. So somebody in my comments said that perhaps getting something to 30, then getting the second dice to 60, then taking the first die up to 90, and then the other one up to 90, is a slightly faster way to get to where we want to be. Because the thing is, on your climb up, the average return of your dice rolls is always going to be the same, because that's how averages work. But if we spread our value between the two dice slightly more evenly, then we flatten out our variance. So the odds that we have a die that has like 90 on it, and then we just roll 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 4, 4, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 90, is far lower if you have two dice that have kind of like 30 or 60 on them. So that will allow us to hopefully, perhaps, get to where we want to be a little more smoothly. So we're going to give that a go right now. So we'll leave the 31 there. We'll keep shopping for the other numbers. And every time that I pause and jump cut this bit, this is all that you're missing, is re-rolling this first shop and going back and buying the increase face values just until we can get two faces up to 97. The reason we picked 97 is because it's the largest prime number under the cap of 99, and there are many passives that boost the ability to score when you have prime numbers. And then also the reason we get 2, as I understand it, is that it just gives, again, slightly more likelihood of you rolling those higher numbers by having 2 of your die faces be the larger numbers than just a single solitary one. So I think that's the rationale behind the whole process, although if there is a more specific reason, then by all means do let me know. But that is the motivation as I understand it. I also always buy from the cheapest thing up to the most expensive thing. In my head, that's just how the buying the cheaper thing then contributes to getting the more expensive thing faster. Of course, it could be said if you buy the expensive thing, you get to more cheaper things more quickly, but I think on averages, it all kind of shakes out together. So we'll make that a perfect 60 and then carry on with this bottom die. But how are you guys today? How are you all? Where are you in the world? I see you guys commenting on my videos at all different times of day and night, and of course, some of you might be commenting on it in your mornings or my evenings or anything else. So where are you in the world? Where are you watching from? I am intrigued. I'm in the southwest of England. In case you haven't heard my accent whilst doing Baldur's Gate 3, there is a particular trader that has a very West Country accent that I get very involved with when reading out. But I do like my scrumpy round here. Haven't quite ever gotten on a tratter though, etc. You can use your imagination to figure the rest of that out. So we've got two 60s now. We're going to progress one of these now up to 97, and then we'll do the same with the other die. and then after that is done, see how many rolls we have left when we have our 297 faces. And then I'm going to try and take some suggestion from my last video where somebody was explaining that maybe I might be able to use glue more, not profitably, but more effectively, more concisely with the many and varied dice that we have on this build, trying to breed dice as quickly as possible. So just continuing to shop and re-roll. I finally kind of got used to the fast transitions. When it was first introduced, my brain couldn't quite keep up with it, but now that I really have a muscle memory for what's going on, it's much faster than watching the gentle swooshes come and go. Now, I have seen it reported that some people get to 297s faster than 2,000 rolls. I've never had a run quite so efficient out of the starting gates. But with this, we get to a 94 there. Now, we just have to wait to find a 3 on one of our shop rerolls. The rest can then go to the top. Or a 1 and a 2, which indeed makes 3. That is how mathematics works. So there's our first 97, with 1987 rolls remaining. So it's going to be 2 or 3 more shops, depending on how our rolls go. And then once that is done, we will then look to upgrade our shop twice, because there isn't anything particularly amazing after the first upgrade. So I don't tend to hang out there too long. I try and get pretty swiftly onto the second upgrade, the third tier of shop. I've also seen some people have a debate about what upgrade number of the shop we should call them. I'm totally fine with saying that you have the first tier, second tier, third tier, and fourth tier. You start with 1 dice, first tier, second tier, third tier, fourth tier, fifth tier. Fifth tier comes with the 4th upgrade, is how my brain pictures it all. So we can't utilize that 3 because it would put our numbers over. But this 2 gets us to a pair of 97s, and then I'm just going to upgrade immediately, getting to our shop upgrade at 1916 rolls remaining. Then we need to upgrade the shop to unlock the next shop upgrade option. And now we have an early die adder. Of course, this is what we want to basically build our run on, but to get 6,000 points now, so early, before we've got any rerolls, any bonuses, any passives, this is the point where I'm not really sure it's worth spending as many rolls as it would take to get this, just to get this 1 die adder early. I think we can do more with our rolls later when we're scoring better and delay getting this 1 face going. So I'm going to do that. If you disagree, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you think I should be taking that one immediately and spending 200 or 300 rolls to do it. There is dice number 3. There is a refresh. Now, there's a few things we're looking for here. I want to get the 97s multiplied and re-rolling a little bit, because they are really our earning potential, so we want those doing good things for us. The rest of the die shopping, again, I think is not as pertinent as we need it to be. But once we get this 3x onto this 97, I will also take this 50, stick that on here. I will add the 50 to itself, gives us a 99. Now there is passives which benefit from having no 99s, but we can just put something else on that tile later, then we won't have a 99 anymore. And now that we're earning so much faster, we can get our first breeder over there. Then we're going to re-roll on this tier of shop for a little while. There's another one. We'll pick that up immediately. So that's 2. Now, what one of you had said to me, whilst if we go back over here, what I had been doing is filling a whole dice with these faces and then setting it to re-roll in triplicate, whereas somebody suggested if I just have one face on each die in triplicate but then glue it, those dice, when they do roll, will be more likely to keep paying out. So I'm going to consider working that into this strategy. But for now, we will just keep pressing on. I'll take another 3x for this 97. It could go on the 99, but the 97 is going to stay longer, and 3x 97 plus prime bonuses is worth more to me than 99 bonuses. Do a couple more rerolls here just to see if anything jumps out at me. But then we really need to get to our next tier of shop. 500 lock seems a bit premature. We could lock the one on the left and get another copy of that in 500 rolls. But I think I would rather look to get the rest of the strategy going first before I worry about just one die giving me an extra 2 die breeders. Now, lots of you have said I should do more with the settled die faces. However, it's choose a numeric die face, so one of the ones that is just a regular number. Things like single face multipliers, keys, lotteries aren't affected by the set all die faces. But there's the no 99s bonus. So we could pick that up for some scoring at this stage. So what I will do is I will buy this 77, swap it out for this 99, just because 77 plus 200% is worth more than 99 is. Quite expensive, 44,000. But then hopefully that should propel us into good earning for the other stuff we need, although I already kind of regret this decision. But we've done it now. There's no 99s times 2 rerolls, which is incredibly important for this strategy. So I'm tempted to bring one of the 97s off so that we can get sets, but this isn't actually a doubles bonus. That's single set of a kind, which is no good to us. So 99s reroll twice, or no 99s rerolls twice, is important for this. It's a lot of rolls, but then hopefully we can do a lot more with what we have after we've got that. Now we want to start looking at getting those die faces that we need, like this guy. And then breeding and locking and all the rest. Now I'm going to get 6 times rerolls here, just because this center die... No, I'm going to put it over here because we're going to clone this. No, I'm not. I'm going to put it in here. Because when it's locked, we'll still get the 2 rerolls from the no 99s, but the other face part of it will be locked. So this die replaces a die face of your choice with a die breeder adder. Every 200 times this is rolled, it adds a new die face with die plus on it. So every 200 rolls, this will make a new die face. When you roll the numeric value by 5, increase it by 2. So none of this stuff increases our scoring capacity particularly so. I'll take a 4x. I'll put the 4x on the 77 there. Then we're going to roll to 144,000, which is, again, it's quite a lot, but it's going to be important. That goes on here with that. Now we're really looking for locks, keys, and more breeding faces. So we'll take this die breeder adder, then we'll add lock. I will also take factor 18 multiplier right now, although as soon as we get to 10 dice, that no longer is worth doubles to us, so maybe that was not good. I will also take triple rerolls for that die on the left. We are now at 9 dice. As soon as we go to 10, we've lost that bonus that we were getting from factor 18, so that was probably unwise. But we'll buy this, put it on here, then we're going to clone that with this lock. And now hopefully things will really start to kick off. Add previous roll to rerolls is probably going to be quite good for us. But again, I'm spending way too much money trying to increase our score when we need these rolls to be doing other things for us. So every 150 rolls, this adds a dice that can then add more dice. So we'll pick that up. Stick it here. And I think it's about time we upgrade our shop once more, I think. Although I would take... Would I take it? No. We'll upgrade. Right, we've unlocked our locked die. So we now want to move those two to be nearer one another so that when we lock them both, we can put a key between them. There's no weights triple reroll, which is better than no 99's double reroll, but unfortunately our earning potential isn't really enough to be getting to 1.5 million. But adding a die breeder dice is good. There's 2 of them there, and this die adder. But yeah, getting to 1.5 million right now isn't probably sustainable. The other thing I definitely should have done, that I have not done yet, is a long time ago I should have set that die in the center to all 97s. I can't believe I missed that. That was foolish. Then I want these guys, but they're very expensive. We also want dice, dice, dice. I should have thought about that ages ago as well. Clearly my brain isn't locked into the steps that are needed in this strategy. Right. 1.5 million for triple rerolls I just don't think we can take right now. We are on our max upgrade tier for our shop now. Die booster is not the most ideal thing. The die, die, dice passive is really what we want. Prime numbers plus 500% is good for our 97s, which is a big chunk of our scoring until we can get something like Yahtzees. I'm going to move this to here so we can put keys in between. How much to get to 600,000? Probably too much. There's a lock. I should have saw that earlier as well. So we will lock this guy. Still no sign of a key. There's dice, dice, dice. We definitely want that. Right, our earning now seems reasonably good. So we have 471 rolls left with dice, dice, dice. I will put another face on here. I will move a face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to steal one of these and put it there. And then this glue, I'm going to put it here. Right, we could buy 10 dice for 3.2 million. Unfortunately, it will only give us 1 extra die from dice, dice, dice. It won't give us 10 extra dice. So we're building dice at a good clip now, but unless we can get locks and keys and that good stuff, this isn't going to get off to the extremes that we want it to. Admittedly, I have had plenty of errors getting to this point. A die breeder we certainly do want, although I think that was, what, 6 million? Then nothing else here, I don't think. Another die adder face. What I need now is some Yahtzee bonuses. Triples isn't terrible, but I'd rather 1000% on a Yahtzee than 100% on a triple. Run multiplier will multiply basically everything by 6 almost all of the time. So we're just about to pass 400 dice. Yeah, that's some good earning for us. Right, we want more glue on random faces like that guy, so that when they roll, they're always there. With that and this, we'll power them together. They should be greater than their sum of their parts. I think spending for 10 more die isn't as valuable as looking for locks and keys. That said, at this point, we now have fewer than 300 rolls left. So unless we find some locks and keys pronto, this isn't going to be the run either, unfortunately. There's Passive Hunter, very late to the party. So late, in fact, I don't think we need it right now. Yahtzee's roll in triplicate, we don't need. Add a die copy is too expensive for what we want it for. There's a 300 lock. We might just get that to pop before anything else happens. Haven't seen a single key yet, though. 100% extra on rerolls. I'll pick that up. And I think it's too late for the glue strats as well, unfortunately. When you roll a Yahtzee, all numeric values and all 5 dice will be increased by 3. Do we have no weights reroll in triplicate? We do not, so we still need the no 99s reroll. Right, well, unfortunately, it's not going to be the great big broken run of my dreams, I think. What will be interesting, though, is once the stability patch comes out, how big then, when it does really pop off and we get good RNG, and we can get into like the 6, 7, 8,000 kind of dice range, then what is it all going to look like? We want to move... I guess... If we don't have keys, we don't concern ourselves with moving something up to this area before we clone it. So we can probably clone something that the die has recently... We can lock something that the die has recently cloned. We just have to find it. If this is making you go slightly cross-eyed, you're not the only one. Right, I can't find any of the things that we've unlocked of late. Only basic all 50 rerollers? There's one. Nope, that's one we stole one from. We've definitely copied ones that have the... Oh, I'm really disoriented now. We've definitely copied ones that have the 150 reroll booster on it. But hey, at this late stage, it's not worth the extra fuss. Yahtzee's worth 1000%. Can we get to that? Now our score's going to skyrocket. I think it might be worth spending more time at the start of the game concerning ourselves with building a few shop reroller faces, because having the extra shop rerolls is really going to facilitate searching for locks and keys. Because we've got that good clip, as in a good pace of die appearing. And for a second time in a row, unless it's just left, we could see the shop just over there in frame a moment ago. As things zoom out. But I don't think any of these locks now are going to unlock. There's the shop. Don't think we're going to unlock anything with these before we get to our ultimate destination. And it feels a bit like when we do numbers less than 13 worth an extra 1000%, why not? When we try and do things like 16 die lottery runs, and you kind of have a rough idea of what you want, but then if the RNG doesn't work out for you, it just doesn't end up working out. Well, that's hugely multiplied our earning potential. As we watch the last of our dice generate themselves, let's see how many we've got now. About 750, 800. So for a third day in a row, we gave it our best. Admittedly, I made some schoolboy errors along the way, which did not help our cause. The lack of keys also didn't help. 839 dice, plus no more. Well, another day, another not quite perfect run, but it's in there. It is in there somewhere. Let me know if you guys ever get bored of watching me try and make these obnoxious amounts of dice. We will change it up a bit more, but I'm really stuck on this goal before the patch comes out. In any case, thank you guys ever so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Cheers.